Michelle Bridges was once a personal trainer in a very crowded marketplace. Now, she's Australia's most influential and well-known. Join me as she explains exactly how she's built a hugely strong and profitable personal brand. Before we launch into episode 418 of the award-winning Small Business Big Marketing Show, the Marketing Gold is made possible thanks to Prosper and Design Crowd. Now, Prosper, you're going to love, because they are Australia's #1 online lender to small businesses, offering fast turnaround loans. When I say fast, I mean like 24 hours fast, up to $250,000. Check them out at Prosper, that's prospa.com/Timbo. And we're also made possible thanks to the good folk at Design Crowd, who are the world's #1 custom design marketplace where you can get any marketing materials that you need designed quickly and cheaply and totally guaranteed. And you can get $100 off your first brief at designcrowd.com/ you guessed it, Timbo.
Well, I said, welcome to a small business marketing show, where successful small business owners share their souls to take your marketing straight to the lead. Now, here's your host, Mr. Timbo Reid.
And welcome back to the Small Business Big Marketing Show, Australia's best business and marketing podcast, as announced at the recent Australian Podcast Awards. I'm your host, Timbo Reid. You, infinitely more importantly, are a motivated business owner ready to crank out some great marketing to build that beautiful business of yours into the empire it deserves to be. Big show today. Australia's most well-known personal trainer, TV celebrity and motivational speaker, Michelle Bridges, joins us. Great story, that one. You're going to love it. Another motivated listener shares a marketing strategy that's working for them, and in return, I give them a prize or three, and I tell you what, it is a ripper marketing strategy. And a past listener finds himself on TV as a result of appearing on this show. As per usual, team, there's marketing GOLD dripping from the ceiling over here at Small Business Big Marketing's HQ. So let's get stuck right in.
Do you need a speaker for your next conference? Recommend Timbo to your event organiser. Or better still, book him. Tim Reid, that's reid.com.au.
Now, you would have heard me say many times over the years, if you're a long-time listener, that getting an interview on a podcast is a good thing for a number of reasons. It helps you articulate your message. It gives you the confidence to talk about your business in a public forum, and it gets you exposure, and other amazing things can happen. And that's exactly what's happened to past guest Riz Syed, who appeared on episode 397. Riz owns Zubia's brow threading bars. He's got 30 locations across Perth. Such a great story. And he just recently wrote me this very short email. He says, "Hey, Tim, how are you, mate? It was a big break for me to appear on your show, and it holds such a weight in society." I must say, Riz is, I think he's South American, so there's a little bit of a kind of accent happening in his writing, if you know what I mean. Back to Riz, he says, "Well done to you for your well-deserved reputation." Thanks, Riz. On the back of the interview with you, and also with the help of some reputable PR firm, we managed to get ourselves some exposure on the Today Tonight show. Have a great day, Tim. Here's the link to the interview. I'll put that in the show notes over at smallbusinessbigmarketing.com/418. Well done, Riz, and thank you for sharing that with me. No surprises there. You've got a great business story to tell. Now, what I like about what Riz has done, guys, is that he's appeared on my show, clearly enjoyed it, had some reaction to it, then gone, "Hey, I'd like to do more of this." So he's got the confidence now to reach out to a PR firm to represent him. I love that. And I think it's a great marketing strategy, and I would encourage you to do the same. Now, coming up Australia's most well-known personal trainer in Michelle Bridges will share how she's built her personal brand, plus she has some great advice. It's just 4 letters long, by the way, with a little hashtag at the top of it. So we call that 5, about how we can all get more things done in our precious businesses. But first, if the idea of getting your hands on some quick cash to finance your next big idea is appealing, then check out how these guys can help you. Cash flow in business is everything, right? That's why I'm excited to introduce you to Prosper, Australia's #1 online lender to Aussie small businesses. But don't take my word for it. Small business owner Nioli Scobie of Truly Tea won the contract to supply the Opera House and needed to quickly ship tens of thousands of tea bags and 2 tons of loose leaf tea. Where was she going to get the money for that?
Well, I already supplied part of the Opera House, and then they offered me inside the Opera House, which is a very big deal, and I had to have a lot of stock on hand. They place an order, they want it the next day, and I wasn't going to say no to them. I'd knocked back too many opportunities in the past, so I phoned up a finance guy I trusted. He said, look, there's a new player on the market, Prosper, give them a call. I gave them a call, and within 24 hours I had the money in the bank.
Prosper, Prospa. That's where she got the money. Apply online in 10 minutes to borrow up to $250,000. Call 1300 882 867 or visit prosper.com/Timbo. All righty. Now, this very personal chat that you're about to hear is with Michelle Bridges, and it first appeared on this show way back in 2015. I just emceed a conference in which Michelle had been one of the keynote speakers, and boy, oh boy, did she rock the stage. Not only does she have a great story to tell about how she's built a really strong and profitable personal brand, but she's a huge proponent of not letting perfection get in the way of productivity. And I know there's a lot of business owners out there, me included, who sometimes wait for everything to be perfect before embarking on whatever it is they need to get done on their business. Michelle will kick you into shape, trust me. Now, Michelle's CV is pretty damn impressive. Her TV appearances include being the host of The Biggest Loser, which was a very popular reality TV show in its day, and I think an international program of sorts. She's written 10 books on living healthy. Yeah, 10. She has her own clothing and vitamin range and a fantastic online weight loss course called the 12-Week Body Transformation. And it all started out the back of a beaten-up old car, as you're going to hear about during this interview. Now, one thing I just want to note there, notice how she's got an array of things going on. She's built a personal brand, and now she's got books, she's got online training, she's got product ranges that are distributed through various supermarket chains in Australia. I mean, this is really a smart way to build a personal brand and to work it hard once you have. I started off by congratulating Michelle on helping thousands of Australians lose a total of 1.3 million kilograms through her 12-week body transformation program.
And counting. I'm on the warpath.
That is it's a great stat.
Well, it is, and that we hit that milestone. I guess it was about the middle of this year. That milestone was hit with my 12-week body transformation online program. But when and it was a big moment for all of us. All the team. We've worked so hard to do so much, and that stat was kind of a lot of fun to sort of put out there because we really do know that we are making a difference. But when I think of that, along with all of my books that have been in the market and all the other things that I kind of have, happening outside of my online program, I kind of now really believe that I've made a pretty big impact in the waistline of Australians. So it's something I'm extremely proud of.
So it should be. You know, we talk a lot about pricing on this show, and I say this sort of half tongue-in-cheek, but it would have been an interesting pricing model. Did you ever wish you'd been given $100 for every kilogram that you lost from people?
Do you know, it's funny, there's so many people that go out there and do they have like an office challenge where they all put $100 into a hat and go, okay, whoever loses the most weight gets the money, or whoever, you know,
Totally.
gets to the finish line of the business charity fun run, you know, that gets the money. And I guess for some people that can be an incentive, I suppose.
Well, absolutely. But I do say that tongue-in-cheek. Your 12-week body transformation, which I want to talk about shortly, I mean, it's incredibly well priced, and it's just an amazing online business. So we'll come to that. But, you know, maybe reconsider how you price it next time and go for the $100 per kilogram lost.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Where would you be now? Hey,
Oh, wow.
let's go back. As I said to you before we hit record, wanted to break it up into wealth and health. So just the way you've built your personal brand is so amazing. And I know, you know, looking at your bio, you started at 14 training the kids at school who didn't do sport. And by 18, you had this certified fitness instructor license.
A license to kick butt, basically.
Hey, yeah, I like that. I like that. And you do that pretty well. You own kicking butt. But at what point did you decide you were going to turn that license to kick butt into an empire?
I didn't. That's never been my ambition, and I think, you know, that's part of the success. In a strange way. I've never had an ambition of having an empire. Mm-hmm. I've never had an ambition of actually being on television, and I think that's part of the reason why I ended up on TV, because I wasn't pushing for it. What I have had an ambition for, though, was to inspire as many Australians and even now the world to, you know, get their act together and look after themselves better, to inspire them to want to, you know, be more active, to eat better, to look after themselves and their family. That has been my ambition. And so with that in mind, everything that I've set out to do and everything that I've set out to achieve has been with that at the forefront. So it's real. It resonates from within. It's not that I wanted to, you know, make money or have businesses or have staff or have, you know, all of the things that come along with having several businesses. It's always been that I wanted to make it my mission to help people.
Does that
make sense?
Yeah, it so does. I'm just listening to you say that from the heart, and it's such a common thread about you'll be the 215th successful business owner that I've had on this show, and from Brian Singer at Rip Curl, Jeff Harris at Flight Centre, all the way through to a lady, Melissa Maker, who's kind of like the most famous home cleaner in Canada. At the heart of what you guys do is to make a difference, and the empire, and then you look behind you and the empire is building itself.
Yeah, I know it sounds, in a way, actually now that you say that, it kind of sounds a bit cliche, but it's got to come from a place of realness. It's got to come from a real place. If your only reason to do something is to make money, then you might get lucky, but I highly doubt it.
Mm. Yeah, there's a passion there, and I saw it when we were at that conference on the Gold Coast recently, where people were coming up to you and you could see, I mean, you're excited by the difference they're sharing. I mean, you must get so many stories shared with you every day of the difference you've made. I mean, that's fuel enough to keep you going, isn't it?
I absolutely get at least between 3 to 5 a day. And I'm not even joking.
Can I ask you?
And that's not even on email. That's actually on the street.
On the street.
That's on the street, in the supermarket, at the petrol station, in the reception of a building that I'm going into for a meeting, in the car park, in a restaurant, walking my dog. It literally is between 3 to 5 of those a day, in the flesh, and then hundreds of emails daily.
Wow. So
it's unreal. It's so cool.
Very cool. And a personal question, or often the questions I ask are for my benefit anyway, but I know the listeners want to hear as well. But like, I get emails nowhere near. I get a percent of what you get, but I get emails saying I've made a difference to people's business and thank you. And sometimes I don't know what to do with that information. It's very humbling. And it makes you feel good. What do you? I don't know. What's the question there? It's humbling, I suppose. And
yeah, look, actually, I know where you go. Well, I'm thinking of this in what you're just saying to me now. And when I first started, particularly on television, because that's when people really got to know me. Like, I was very well known in the fitness industry, but no general public, unless they came to my classes or came to my gym, knew me. And so when TV started, suddenly everybody was sort of recognizing me, and I felt completely and utterly embarrassed, mortified, especially if I was with friends, so embarrassed. And because I didn't want to be seen as, in good old Australian terms, as a wanker. Mm-hmm. So if people would come up to me and ask for a photograph, I'd be like, oh my God, how embarrassing. Yeah, okay, sure. And anyway, a good dear friend of mine said, Michelle, I know you, and so I know that this embarrasses you, but you need to take stock because you're coming across as aloof, like you don't care. And I was like, are you serious? And he said to me, yeah. So you need to embrace this, otherwise you're going to end up coming across to people like you're above them or better than that or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, okay. So slowly but surely, if someone said to me, oh, are you that girl? Are you that girl on that TV show? Instead of like cringing with embarrassment, I'd be like, yeah, I am that girl. And they'd say, can we get a photo? I'm like, sure, let's get a photo. Get as many as you like, and that's not always easy because, you're trying to do your groceries or whatever.
Yeah.
But it meant I let it flow through me rather than fight it. And it's been a little bit easier to accept it that way.
That's really interesting. What a great bit of advice from your friend. Because for someone to tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, you're coming across as aloof versus, gee,
I've got some
just
pretty good friends in my life. I've got
Yeah.
some pretty good friends. They keep me very well grounded, and they were like, "You need to like work this out, Michelle, because it doesn't look good." And I was like, I'm embarrassed. I said, I know that you're embarrassed, but other people don't know that.
Yeah.
They don't know you. So I thought, yeah, it was good advice.
What was the point then in your career, Michelle, where you look back and you go, that was the turning point? Because you've got books, you've got The Biggest Loser since 2007. You obviously were highly regarded within the fitness industry. Like, you speak from stage, you do so many things. Can you look back and go, you know what? It was that moment when it all changed.
No, I wouldn't say that there was one big moment. I think that's been, a turn of events over a period of time. Look, when the fact that I got in my car at the age of 26 with $300 in the bank and a secondhand beat-up sports girl Barina with all of my worldly possessions and decided to drive to Sydney and give my career a red-hot go, I mean, that was the turn of events.
Might have been the sports girl part of the Barina.
Yeah, it's true. I had nothing. I knew no one and I had no job prospects. But I thought, oh, well, the plan is just get there and see what happens. Not much of a plan, and I am a bit of a one for a planner, a bit of a planner myself, but sometimes the most simplest plans are often the best. Or it could be that when I pitched an idea to Mornings with Kerry Ann to do a fitness segment, and finally, after chasing her around the gym with this idea and beating down her producer's doors, I got that over the line. Then there was a moment where I won the Australian Fitness Leader of the Year award within the fitness industry. That was a really big thing for me and a shot in the arm for my career. I mean, I guess everybody says, well, it must be when you landed the gig on The Biggest Loser. And I would certainly say that was a big event. Mm-hmm. That was a big turning point because it allowed me to amplify everything that I'd already been doing in the background. It gave me the ability to springboard all of those ideas and concepts forward. That being said, though, it certainly didn't mean everything was a walk in the park and it was all just landing on my lap. when an opportunity turns up, you have to hone it, you have to polish it, you have to create even more in order to amplify that opportunity. One opportunity does not necessarily mean that the next one will arrive and the next one will arrive and the next one will arrive. You still got to keep being creative and looking, being a bit of a lateral thinker.
Well, good on you for not becoming complacent, because I imagine where you've got to now in your career, complacency, it could set in. I'm sure it's set in other people who have got to your level where they go, know what?
I just landed myself a gig on TV. Cool.
Yeah. Job's done.
Job's done. Let's sit back and reap the rewards. No, I mean, one could do that, but that's kind of not my style anyway. I actually get quite excited by the prospect of new ideas and new opportunities and new projects and, the cut and thrust of business, as hard as it is, when you get knocked back after knockback after knockback and no, it's still exciting when you can see a project get up off the ground and sort of see it through to fruition.
Well, here's the thing. You love ideas. You're looking for the next thing. I've got a 14-year-old daughter, Stephanie, who kids don't watch telly anymore. And you are in the mass media. I mean, Biggest Loser is one of those programs that does have outrageously big audience numbers, but that's uncommon these days. And Stephanie keeps on coming to me and saying, "Hey, Dad, check out these YouTubers," right? So I have been checking out these YouTubers of recent months, and there's one in particular that Steph follows, a girl called Zoella, and Zoella has got 6.5 million followers on her YouTube channel, right?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's amazing. And one of these girls, I think she's 18, 19. She reviews makeup. She talks about her anxiety. She talks about this and that. So I go and watch Zoella, right? And she's fantastic. Production value's off the charts. And in walks, Stephanie actually said to watch a particular episode, in walks Jamie Oliver, right? So now I'm going, TV celebrities are now looking at people like Zoella, who have these massive multi-million amount of followers on the YouTube channel, and getting exposure that way. Are you sniffing an opportunity online? Well, you already got 12-week body transformation, but can you see yourself going that way of a Zoella?
Of course.
Yeah.
Those projects are already
underway. She rubs her hands together and says, I'm not telling you yet. So, that's going nuts, isn't it? Because I was even reading an article with actually the boss of YouTube, who's just saying, this is the future where, stars are being born on YouTube and not on the TV screen anymore.
That's right. It's just the way it's the world is moving and shifting, and it's exciting times because yes. It means that, the world isn't ruled by television anymore. Yeah. And some people would see that as a good thing, and other people would see that as a bad thing. And I just see it as, it's change. Change is inevitable.
Yep.
There's one thing that you can't stop, and that is there's always going to be change in every industry. And I guess being someone in business, change is hard because you're sort of like, oh God, really? We just got this up and rolling, and now you're telling me that we've got to do something else. But that's the law, the law of the land.
Way of the world.
You got to be ready for those changes, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be across how it all works, because who could be and who can be. But what it does mean is that, when you can see change within whatever business you're in occurring, you need to stop and listen, and maybe get some sound advice from people who are involved with that change,
Totally.
or who know about that change.
Well, you make a great point, Michelle, because, you don't have to be across how it works. Like, I'm not that technical, but I've been podcasting for 6 years. I'm going to guess you're not the most technically minded either, but your 12-week body
I don't know what are you saying? What are you talking about? Of course.
Correct. So it's like, my point here for listeners, for small business owners listening, is like, focus on the content, like be Michelle, your fitness. I know my marketing. I want to share it. How you get a podcast together, or, let's talk about the 12-week body transformation. You had the content. You were the one who wanted to get in front of the camera and motivate hundreds of thousands of Australians and people to lose weight. But what did you do? Did you then go and find the people who could do the technical stuff?
Yep.
That easy.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I had people that were close to me that were very IT savvy. And, it was like the worlds collided. We had the perfect storm. We had, myself who had the content and the ideas and the understanding of the landscape in that arena.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had people who knew IT and who understood how to sort of make it all happen online. So, you can't be everything to all people. So that's when it's, it's smart to get people around you, surround yourself with people who understand, those different parts of your business that can be grown. Like I've got an amazing team in my Michelle Bridges team. I've got a great marketing girl. I have so much confidence in her abilities. I have an amazing retail product development a lady who happens to be a dear friend of mine as well, but knows the industry inside and out when it comes to clothing, apparel, and hard goods. So it's being able to release some control and being able to put some faith in others rather than thinking that you've got to be, pulling all the levers at all times. You just can't.
What's your marketing girl? What's your marketing girl's name?
Vanessa.
What's Vanessa? What's her role?
She's head of marketing for Team MB. So she sort of, within Team, I have a small team, which is called Team MB.
Love it.
And we genius name, isn't it? I don't know where I could have come up with that.
Yeah.
But basically, what that team looks after is the brand and all the different verticals that sit underneath that brand. So those verticals are publishing, books, etc., writing, retail as far as apparel and hard goods. And when I talk about apparel, I talk from shoes right through to clothing, not only for women upwards of sizes of 26, which no fitness apparel actually does. I'm the only one in the country that does that, right through to shoes, as well as girls wear now, till young girls. And then hard goods from water bottles all the way through to treadmills. And then also that sits underneath that is cooking wear or kitchen utensils.
Vitamins?
My 12-week body, my vitamin supplement range with Blackmore sits underneath that. And also the 12-week body transformation.
Can I ask, Michelle, because I did some work with Michael Klim a few years ago to help him with his brand strategy for milk, for his male.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember talking to Clemmy at the time, and we were talking about Ian Thorpe and how Thorpe had gone, and he went around and pretty much put his name to anything anyone put to him. And some of those things didn't work. I think at one point he had Ian Thorpe diamonds or pearls or something like that.
No, it was pearls.
Pearls.
Yeah. No, this is you bring up a very good point, and that is it needs to be on brand. And yes. I cannot begin to tell you how many things I've said no to. You have to say no to a lot of things.
Okay.
It's got to be real. It's got to feel that it resonates within you.
Okay, that's you got it. You got it in one, and for you, that's just a gut feeling because it's like Team Michelle Bridges is reviewing something that they are wanting or thinking of putting your name to. Is it as simple as you go yes or no, or is there some more strategy to it?
There's a lot of thinking around many of the things that a lot of the stuff actually, to be honest with you, a lot of the stuff that we do, we actually go out and chase it because it feels, we're so passionate about it. Like I was so passionate about doing a fitness line that was inclusive of all financial, demographics, that people could feel good and look good while they're training, but they could afford it. Mm-hmm. That was just so inside of me. I was bursting. So we went and chased that one down. The same with kitchen utensils and cookware. It's like, well, I preach about, taking back the control in your kitchen and, taking back the responsibility and accountability of the food that goes in your mouth. So that kind of, I absolutely wanted to do that. Some things get put across the table that we think, that's actually quite a good idea, but it's not often. Most things that come across my table, I'm like, no, that doesn't fit for me. It doesn't work for me. I mean, I've even had a junk food giant come to me, and I was like, "Are you kidding? Are you absolutely kidding me?" Like, and the thing is, the general public are smart.
Yeah.
You know, they will give you permission to do certain things, and they will not give you permission to do other things.
So true. So true. And not easy to say no. I mean, you're at a point now where saying no is easy. You've got the cash flow and the empire is building as a result of not looking at it, but just focusing on your why.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether you are down to your last dollar, or you're fine and you don't need it. You know, it's got to be true to your core values.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it. Music to my ears.
It's got to be true to your core values. I stand by that at 100%.
Now, I want to just wrap up the business discussion, but I notice you've done, and I haven't had this discussion on the show before, Guinness World Record attempts. You've got 2 Guinness World Records, and I love it. Largest circuit training class.
I never in my wildest imaginings ever thought that those words would ever come out of my mouth.
Classic.
That I actually have not 1, but 2 Guinness World Records. I mean, this is stuff kids dream of.
Correct.
I want to be in the Guinness World Record book. You know, like, really? Is that ever going to happen in my lifetime? Twice. It's crazy.
It is crazy. So how did that first one, you got largest circuit training class, and then I think that was followed by largest exercise ball workout. And that was, I love that. I watched that. What coverage.
That was done in New York.
Unreal.
The second one was in New York. It was pretty mind-blowing and quite an out-of-body experience that I was like in, I can't think of the actual. It was right out the front of the Today Show.
You're on the NBC Today Show. It's probably like the Rockefeller Center or something like that.
Yeah, it was the Rockefeller Center. That's it. That's exactly where we were, in a sea of blue balls. And I thought, what on earth? Like, really, Michelle? This is crazy.
Yeah, no, I got a sense even watching you on that, thinking, like you were, out of body's a good way of putting it. It was like a little bit out of your comfort zone.
It was, I was well and truly in my comfort zone. I had a whole bunch of people in front of me exercising.
Yeah.
But it was quite surreal that I was doing a Guinness World Record, not only a Guinness World Record, but actually doing it in the Rockefeller Plaza in New York City. Like,
great way to get that coverage and get your brand out into one of the world's biggest marketplaces. How did the idea come about?
I had a crazy guy that I was working with in the States who was a TV producer, and he'd been a producer with the Today Show, but several other different companies as well. And he's freelance, but he said, "I've got this genius idea, and I reckon we can make it work." And I was like, "Cool? Are you serious?" Don't get me wrong, it took a lot to make that happen. I mean, so much went into making that Guinness World Record happen. Just try to imagine, how do you get nearly 400 spitballs into New York City in the Rockefeller Center, get them all pumped up, and then get that many people in there? You would think that would be easy. It's actually not. To get, and then to actually then have all of those balls removed out of that area. Classic. I mean, yeah, and then not only that all the logistics of trying to make it all happen, but then actually trying to then sell that to, not sell it, but, get that pitch over the line to a TV show like the Today Show.
Yeah, correct.
But it makes me laugh when I think about it. Like, there was tears, there was sweat, blood, anguish, anxiety. People were going through all different emotions of depression trying to make that whole thing happen. And I remember just thinking, God, if we get it and then we actually break the record, I will literally just fall over, which I did.
You did. And from a marketing point of view, and I'm sorry to bring it back to that, but it's a brilliant marketing play, and it got you, I think it's 12 minutes was the YouTube video of coverage on the Today Show across America. I mean, it's good. It's smart. I hope you...
It was pretty fun, I have to say.
I bet it was. I just want to wrap things up. I so appreciate you. And by the way, just going back to that whole, the world's changing and YouTubers and all that, well done for you for coming on a little old podcast like this. You know, I've got a loyal audience. They love what we share on this show, but thank you for that. I want to finish with a lovely acronym that you share from stage, and I'm sure you share it in other places, Michelle. JFDI.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
I had a feeling that was going to turn up somewhere in this interview.
JFDI. Well,
It works for everything. It works for everything. It works for putting your clothes away. It works for getting your car serviced. It works for having to go and talk to your bank manager. It works for getting up off the couch and going and doing some exercise. It just works for everything. It works for everything. JFDI.
And is it really as simple as just doing it?
Yeah.
Is it?
It really is that simple. It's like, this is for all the overthinkers, all the procrastinators, everybody that suffers by analysis, by paralysis. It's just like, you know, get over it. Just get up and do it. Just shut up and do it.
Because I guess as a personal trainer, one of the things that you would get a lot is excuses. So it's just like JFDI, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I use them. We all use them. We've all got plenty of them. Some of us polish those excuses till we did an inch of their life, and you know, they actually become truths after a while.
Yeah.
But you end up cutting through all the BS with my beautiful JFDI statement.
Love it. Have you got the has Team Bridges got a JFDI t-shirt?
We've got the t-shirt, we've got the hat, we've got the bag, we've got the lot.
Love it. Well, I'm about to do the Great Vic bike ride with my daughter. We're about to ride 500 kilometres from Albury to Lilydale, so I'm looking for an excuse at the moment. But I think I know what you're going to tell me.
Yeah, you know what to do.
Yeah.
Just get the t-shirt.
Australia's most influential personal trainer, Michelle Bridges. Thanks so much for taking us inside Team Bridges, Team MB, and getting us up off our asses and JFDIing it.
Thank you. Have a lovely day. Thank you so much.
Well, there you go, team. Celebrity personal trainer, Michelle Bridges. You feeling inspired? I hope so. Ready to take on the world? I hope so. Coming up, I'm going to share my top 3 attention grabbers from that fireside chat with Michelle. Plus, another motivated listener shares a marketing idea that's producing some seriously profitable results for them. But first, if you need any marketing materials at all design, and I mean anything, like signage, ads, websites, merchandise, whatever, and you don't have a massive budget or a whole lot of time, then I think you're going to love these guys. Cheap, quick, great. I used to work with a designer who'd force me to choose 2 of those 3 options whenever I wanted something designed. As a small business owner with limited funds, it drove me nuts that I could never have all 3. That's why I love Design Crowd. You see, Design Crowd is a website that helps startups, small businesses and marketers outsource custom design, from logos and business cards to websites and landing pages. In fact, Design Crowd gives you access to over 550,000 designers from Sydney to San Francisco, ready to help you with awesome creative ideas. Here's how it works. You post a brief describing your design need. Within hours, you'll receive your first design, and over the next 3 to 10 days, a typical project will receive 60 to 100 different designs from designers around the world. You then pick your favourite, make any changes, and pay the designer. You know, whether you're an entrepreneur looking to set up your brand or an established business that needs marketing collateral designed, Design Crowd is your answer. For a special $100 VIP listener offer, go to designcrowd.com/Timbo or enter the discount code Timbo when posting a project. See? Now you can have cheap, quick and great design thanks to Design Crowd. Righto, my top 3 attention grabbers from my fireside chat with celebrity personal trainer Michelle Bridges, thanks to Prosper, that's PROSPA, and Design Crowd. Attention grabber number 1, #JFDI. Now, I love Michelle's approach to getting stuff done. Procrastination is such an evil and, so detrimental to us moving forward in our businesses. So taking the attitude of being productive over being perfect is, I would argue, world's best practice. Hashtag JFDI. Attention grabber number 2, stop looking at the scoreboard. Instead, put your head down and your bum up and focus on the job at hand. I think, in whatever we're doing, if we're looking at the scoreboard the whole time, seeing are we getting more website traffic, are sales going up, are people leaving comments in our social media posts? I mean, these types of scoreboards, whilst, you could argue they're important to me, we want sales to go up, right? But focus less on continually looking at that scoreboard and focus more on just getting the job done, right? And you'll be amazed at the results. Attention grabber number 3, keep fit or get fit. Now, as business owners, one of the first things that gets ignored when growing our precious, precious businesses is our health and well-being, which is pretty stupid, right? Now, a few years ago, I lost 30 kilograms and my business literally doubled in size within weeks and months. It was incredible. And I can tell you right now, I have put on a lot of those kilograms back on, not all of them, but a lot of them. And I've noticed the impact it has on my thinking, on my business. So, there's a bit of honesty there. Be honest with yourself and see what you can do to get clear of mind and clean of body. That's what grabbed my attention. Love to know what grabbed yours. smallbusinessbigmarketing.com/418.
Come on down. It's Timbo's Monster Prize Draw.
Oh, yes, indeedly doodly. Time to reward a motivated listener for taking action. And here's how the Monster Prize Draw works. You just need to email me, tim@timreid, reid.com.au. Tell me one idea you've implemented from listening to this show and what impact it has had on your business. And if I read it on air, you win a few prizes from me and from past guests who have kindly donated them. And the top letter, the best letter for the year, wins a hot lap in a Porsche with past guest and racing car legend Steve Richards, and that's valued at $2,500. Pretty simple, right? And I can tell you right now, the entries are drying up. So don't think if you write me something you're not going to get mentioned, because chances are you will. tim@timreid.com.au. Okay, let's find out who today's winner is. And it is, drum roll, that's sort of like a tongue roll, but you with me? Today's winner is Laura Klein, who is the founder of snottynoses.com.au. Well done, Laura. She says, hey, Timbo, love your show. Thank you. Where do I start? Probably one of my favourite episodes was with Lisa Conway, the hairdresser business coach. There were nuggets of gold throughout that entire episode. One I've implemented is the partnership strategy or reciprocal marketing. Dale Beaumont also touched on it in the episode you did with him. It's the best free marketing around because you get together with other businesses who are not your competition, yet who have the same target market. Now, I run, she says, a business-based e-commerce store called snottynoses.com.au. Funny name, but great products. Gadgets for good health and good sleep. My target market is mums aged 25 to 40, and I know there are plenty of other businesses who sell different products with that exact target market in mind. So, why not join forces? Am I right? You certainly are, Laura. She goes on to say, the two most recent examples of this collaboration were Black Friday and Australia Day. For each one, we gathered 8 e-commerce businesses, all with different product offerings for mums, and did an email sequence advertising each other's offers. That's genius in itself. So I sent 4 emails over that time to my 9,000 subscribers so they could see all the offers. And my offer got sent to thousands of other fresh eyes. Using the wonders of Google Analytics, we could see where the sales traffic was coming from. And in a word, those promos were gold. People who had never heard of snottynoses.com.au were suddenly very keen to learn more about my business and buy from me. We love that. It cost me nothing, just a bit of time to gather the offers and graphics from the other 8 business owners and craft a few emails. Easy peasy Japanesey. We are doing a similar thing for Easter long weekend and Black Friday 2018. My advice to any business owner listening, reach out to other businesses with the same target market and get something going. Keep up the great work, Timbo. Laura Klein, snottynoses.com.au. Laura, it's genius. It works and it's free. Yeah, sure, it took you some time to put it together, but boy, oh boy, you have landed on a very, very clever, simple, effective marketing strategy to get more customers and ultimately more sales. For sharing that, you have won a limited edition black leather Orbit key valued at $49.90 thanks to past guest Rex Quo from Orbit Key. That was a great interview. That was all about crowdfunding. You've also won, Laura, a double pass to the Amex Lounge at the Sydney or Melbourne International Airports. That is valued at $66. And this one's priceless. You get a backlink on smallbusinessbigmarketing.com. Gotta love that. Thank you, Laura. You are an inspiration to me and to all other business owners listening. And that's the Small Business Big Marketing Monster Prize Draw for another week. You want to win? You want to share some love with other business owners around what's working in your business to get more customers? Then email me, tim@timreid, reid.com.au. Whew. You and I cover some serious marketing ground in this show, as I say each and every week. Michelle Bridges isn't the only celebrity turned business owner we've had on this show. Naomi Simpson of Red Balloon fame and now one of the sharks on Shark Tank shared how she's built Australia's biggest online experience business. And do you remember the episode we caught up with network marketing superstar Paul McEnany? At the time, he and his wife were Australia's second biggest seller of that health food, Isogenics. I was a bit sceptical about the whole network marketing business model, so I did ask Paul some pretty hard-hitting questions. Well, at least I thought they were hard-hitting. But if you have any interest in what some call pyramid selling, others call direct selling, some call it network marketing, then that is a great interview to listen to. I'll include links to both those episodes over at smallbusinessbigmarketing.com/418, where you'll find literally hundreds and hundreds of other interviews. Or you can subscribe free on your favourite podcast app. Be sure to check out Design Crowd, the world's #1 custom design marketplace. If you need any marketing materials designed quickly and cheaply, you get $100 off your first brief at designcrowd.com/Timbo. And a big thank you to Prosper, PROSPA, Australia's #1 online lender to small businesses. If you need some dough quick to finance your next big idea, maybe to get you through to the end of the month, then check out prosper.com/Timbo. They have a great offering for small business owners. If you love the Small Business Big Marketing Show, then please let another business owner or five know about it by grabbing their phone and downloading it for them and explaining how podcasting works. I'd really appreciate that. But until next week, I am Timbo Reid. Thanks for tuning in to the Small Business Big Marketing Show, the award-winning Small Business Big Marketing Show. May your marketing be the best marketing. Bye for now.